Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look at. I don't like the modern idea of taking this Kimura and making 90 degrees on the hips. With a double wrist lock, if you do a double wrist lock properly, you don't have to use the shoulder crank. You just pull the wrist underneath the forearm. So, like if I was to do this move on, okay, so if I go to guard, okay, and I've managed to get to this idea of this double wrist lock, what I see these days is everyone making this angle to make this Kimura. Now, to make a Kimura, to make the shoulder, then yeah, I do have to do that, but it's very easy to escape. In the old days, we used to lock our guard, and I would get to my double wrist lock, and then I'd pull the wrist up underneath the shoulder. So as you can see, I'm not causing any shoulder rotation. I don't have to make that angle to get this. And what we're going to look at is we're going to look at why, because up to recently I was teaching making this 90-degree angle, and then an old memory from an old coach came, and now I can escape the Kimura 9 times out of 10, especially to try and make this angle. Alright, and that's what everyone's taught to do. So I've ended up in Graham's guard, and I might be baiting Graham for this. Okay, I might be wanting him to take the Kimura. If I know he's one of these guys that likes the Kimura and likes to take his body out to this side, I'm going to go and put my hand, Christmas present. As I do that, I put my hand on the inside of his knee. Yeah? He's not thinking of triangle at this point. What he's thinking of is that Kimura. Now, as he goes to the Kimura and starts to make his angle out, I just start to stuff my hip, and I pass. And I'm straight into a side choke. Okay? It's kind of like similar to a re-drag off an arm drag, or a bump in the knee on a hip bump. Is it risky? Well, maybe a little bit. But it works beautifully. So I go in here. As I go, I put my hand on the inside of his hip, ready to push down on this knee. I give him the Kimura. If he gives the Kimura, he has to make the angle. If he makes the angle, I just drive my body out. Once I drive my body out, I can capture this arm and this shoulder. Drive him up onto his side. Hands underneath the armpit. Head down to the floor. And here, my side choke. Okay? So, if you're getting caught with someone who's taking this Kimura kind of angle of things, taking out to this 90 degrees, it's really, really easy to defend and get past, and it gives you a beautiful guard pass. In fact, if they've got a really good closed guard, and sometimes actually use this, giving them hip bumps, pushing the knee and diving out, or giving them the Kimura, pushing the knee and diving out. If they open the guard, you can drag yourself out of it. So play with it. It's not 100%, but what is? Okay?